Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well. Today, the day after Chelsea's abysmal 2-2 draw at home against Everton, where we threw the result away out of the window and straight into Everton's laps. Absolutely immense when you think of it on that magnitude for Everton. Congrats to Everton on taking a point. I gave my match review in relation to all of that. If you haven't caught that already, make sure you catch it here after you are done. And let's get cracking into today's video. Two topics to discuss. It was going to be one, but after what went down yesterday, and thank goodness it went down. If not, the main headline of yesterday would have been Chelsea dropping 2 points against Everton. Yeah, but because of a certain manager, no one's talking about Chelsea, so that actually makes me quite happy. Anyway, we're going to get into it. Before we do, two things. Make sure you check out the socials. Links are in the description in relation to Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on those, and as well as my second channel. Link is there, as I will be uploading new content that is on its way there too. So keep your eyes peeled. And also, happy Mother's Day to all the mums, if you are watching. I know it's a predominantly young male audience that are watching this channel, but for the few mums that may be watching, happy Mother's Day. And for all of you, happy Mother's Day to all of your mothers. I hope you treat them nicely. And on a little side note, make sure you treat both of your parents with what they deserve. More times than not, they have your best interests at heart, even if you do think you hate them. So just treat them nicely, look after them always, and yeah, good things will come. But happy Mother's Day to all of your mums, and for any mothers that are watching. Let's get cracking. Let's start off with, I'm going to talk about Mason Mount, but we're going to do that after, right? Because this was going to be the main topic of the video and the only topic of the video. But we got to talk about Antonio Conte, man. We have to. It's a Sunday. Let's kick back a little bit, get a drink, and let's have a little discussion. Because Antonio Conte has provided us with elite entertainment. Elite. Not once did he drop a press conference like this at Chelsea. Not once. And he took us to court. And he won. He took us to court and he won the court case. The judge looked at it and went, yep, Antonio, you are in the right. Chelsea, you are in the wrong. And he took money and he won the case, right? And even then, he didn't come out with an outburst like he did yesterday at Tottenham. That was unbelievable in every sense of the word. Some of his quotes, I'm trying to just get on the top of my head here, but when he's like, the players are selfish, the club, this is what they're used to, 20 years, no trophy. Do they want to continue like this? They can sack me if they want, but they can keep changing manager. It's not going to change. Do the players care? Do they have any fire? There's no fire in the eyes. There's no fire in the heart. He just came out and absolutely destroyed all of them. But I'm not surprised. This is where I have to turn to quite a lot of people who were genuinely surprised at what they saw yesterday. Yeah, maybe you can be surprised at the magnitude, but I'm not surprised it's come down to this. And you know what? Us Chelsea fans as a whole are not surprised it's come down to this. If you look at everyone that's surprised, they're not Chelsea fans. They're not Chelsea fans. And this isn't to say a bad thing about Antonio Conte, because Antonio Conte is a good manager, but he comes with prerequisites. If you don't match those prerequisites, if you don't have those things in place before he even walks through the door, you're going to fail with him. What? And we tried to warn you. We tried to say, look, Tottenham, you're trying to do what we did. We got Mourinho. We won 8 trophies in the 5 years that he was there, yeah? Fantastic. I was going to say AVB because Tottenham took AVB as well, but AVB didn't really do much with us. We sacked him after 6 months, so you kept him for longer. So there's that. Antonio Conte comes to Chelsea, wins the Premier League immediately. No problem. Wins the FA Cup the next season whilst it's already kicked off, and he still won an FA Cup with us. Why do you think that happened? Because we gave him something to work with. It wasn't everything, but it was something. First season, we gave him everything. Second season, we didn't give him everything. And we had that horrific transfer window where we bought Bakayoko and Drinkwater and all of those, man. I don't understand how we still went ahead with a window like Ross Barkley. I prefer to pretend that window didn't happen. Yeah, it's erased from my memory. I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist. But that was a horrific window. The only good thing about that window was we got Rudiger and we got Giroud. Those two, right, fair dues. But the rest, abysmal. But we still won an FA Cup. Why? Because we still had a certain standard, right? Tottenham looked and went, yeah, let's get Mourinho. He'll win us trophies. No, that's not how it works. Yeah, and then when he does get on the brink of winning you a trophy, you sack him before a final. Antonio Conte walks through the door. You think, yeah, this guy will do it instead because he's got a little bit more about him, right? Maybe Jose's lost his touch a little bit. Conte's going to come in absolutely fuming, so therefore he's going to win a trophy. You've missed the point. Tottenham have missed the point completely. And what Antonio Conte said yesterday was true. Tottenham don't have a culture of winning. So how in the blue hell are they meant to know what it takes? Right? They just thought, get this winning manager and it's boom, it's done. The prerequisites for Antonio Conte to succeed, right? There's mainly two. When he comes in, he needs to get every single little thing that he asks for. There's no compromise with Antonio Conte. Maybe in terms of time, but when that time runs out, you have to give him what he asks for. He is basically like the mafia. He comes in and he's like, hey, I want this and I want this and I want this. And if you don't get me it, we're going to have to talk about how you will not last very long. You know, simple. But I will give you 48 hours. I will give you some time. Yeah, basically like that. And then when you reach 48 hours, if you don't give him what he's asking for, you're finished. He will explode on you. This is it. Maybe one window, two windows. Maybe there were a couple of players that he did want and they got him, but it wasn't every single target. This is the thing with Conte. Get him A to E. A, B, C, D, and E. Not A, B, and C. Not C, D, and E. Not B, D, and E. Not A, B, and C. Right? You got to get him A, B, C, D, and E. If not, he's kicking off. And why? Because he knows what it takes for his system to work. He knows that his system is so specific to a certain profile of player in every single role that if you don't get him that, it's not going to work. But if you do get him that, he will win you trophies. He will win you something. Even if it's a short term. Even if it's just one season. But you will win something. Right? It happened at us. It happened at Juve. It's happened for... No, he didn't win for Italy. But at club level, as long as he has what he wants in place, it will work. But that's not the only thing. It's not just get me this player and get me this player, get me this player. On top of that, he needs to have a team that are willing to go through not just the hills, not just the storms, not just the... I don't flipping know what's worse at this, but hurricanes, tornadoes, torpedoes, anything that's insane, right? A nuclear bomb, right? If he doesn't have players that are going to go through that, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And Tottenham, let's face it, do not have those players. It's why it didn't work with Mourinho. If it wasn't going to work with Mourinho, it was not going to work with Conte. Mourinho has some sort of level of compromise and some sort of level of understanding of what certain profile of players need and how to get something out of them. Conte doesn't do that. You get him what he wants and then you got to work to his way and that's it. You haven't got a second option. It was never going to work with Tottenham. It was never going to work. You just knew that Daniel Levy's Spurs were not going to be the club and environment that were going to get Conte exactly what he needs. I have to argue that for Tottenham, there are some players that are cut out for it. You could maybe say Harry Kane. But even then, you got to be a born winner inside of you to be able to really win under Conte. And it has to come from every single player. Hence why he blew up yesterday. Because they don't have it, and they will not have it, because it's the culture at the club. It is what it is. And even Harry Kane. Harry Kane is probably the best one there that can actually give something to an Antonio Conte. But even then, his mentality isn't 100%. Why? Because if he was a born winner, he would have left Tottenham already. This is the thing. So it's just not going to work with Conte. But you have to ask, why did he pick the moment yesterday? Why did he do what he did yesterday? Why yesterday? Because it's the international break. That's it. And he said it himself. I was hiding and I was waiting and I was hiding. But today, I speak. Right? Why today? Because that's it. Now he knows he hasn't got long left. He knows it's the international break. He knows there's time for the club to make a change if they want to. And that's what he's looking for. He wants the sack now. He wants out. He has thrown not just his team and his players, but the entire club under the bus by saying that Tottenham don't have a culture of winning it. Tottenham 20 years, this owner, nothing. They don't want to fight for anything. They don't want to fight under stress or under pressure. They don't want it. Right? To come out and say that as the manager of the club is insanity. but it's done on purpose. We knew it was going to come to this. The thing is now, he would happily get sacked and then turn around and say, oh, you know what, maybe it was an unfair dismissal, take the club to court, he'll find some sort of loophole, and he'll win. And then he'll take more money. Simple. Why wait till the summer when it can all happen now? That's Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte's lost it at Spurs. Now he's done. He's done. He's made it clear that he wants to sack. Sack me. He's begging, sack me. Sack me, or Tottenham will suffer and will probably not even make Europa League. Because at that point, nothing's going to work. It's already dead. So Conte's got Spurs absolutely checkmated. And we tried to warn you. We tried to warn you, Spurs. We tried to warn you, but you didn't want to listen. So, how about try and go for the next ex-Chelsea manager then, yeah? How about you try and get Maurizio Sarri next? How's that? You can go through the chronological order. So you can get that, and then you can try and get Lampard after that, although that's not going to happen. Good luck getting Tuchel as well, by the way, because I don't think that he'd want to come down to Spurs. And then we'll see how long it lasts with Graham Potter, and you can finally go for Potter if you want. So anyway, it is what it is. Now, talking about Potter and talking about Chelsea, let's talk about Mason Mount a little bit. Because there was something in relation to Mason Mount that had come out not long ago, and I thought, you know what, let's show you now. So, Fabrizio Romano came out with a latest a couple of days ago saying this. Mason Mount has now appointed Neil Fewings as new agent. Agreement done weeks ago. Understand it's very likely that he will leave Chelsea in July. Fewings will now help Mount in talks, as first called by Matt Hughes of the Daily Mail, who did say ahead of the game Mason Mount appoints new agent to plot summer transfer from Chelsea. And look, from this there was an outrage. There was an outrage from quite a few Chelsea fans coming and saying, no, what are we doing? It's a disgrace. We can't let go of this guy. If we let go of Mount, it's a disgrace. It's despicable. It's embarrassing. All of those things. And I'm asking the question. Okay, hang on. Pause. Who are Chelsea gonna let go in the summer then? What's his name? Is it Lionel Messi, or who is it? Is it Benzema? Did we have Benzema? I didn't know we had Benzema. We letting go of Benzema. Do we have Erling Haaland? Is that it? We're letting go of Haaland? No? Alright, I don't know. Lads, come on. Come on. People are genuinely thinking the club's going to fall through the depths of hell if we sell Mason Mount. We'll be fine. Now, this isn't anything against Mason. I'm just saying, we'll be fine. We let go of Hazard at his peak, and we were fine. So to think that if we let go of Mason Mount, it's going to be an absolute disaster, as many have said, it's a disaster. What disaster? There's no disaster. What's the disaster? Some people are genuinely concerned that he's going to go to somewhere like Liverpool and he's going to explode. I don't think he will. I'm not scared. I'm genuinely not scared. Yeah, this guy... This is what I'm saying. He's not a bad footballer. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm not saying that Mason Mount isn't good. This isn't about Mason, right? I'm saying that if he does go elsewhere, we'll be okay. Even if he does play well under Klopp from time to time. And what? We will be fine. Yeah? We will be fine. And I've genuinely looked at this Mason Mount situation. I've come to terms with it. I'm seeing people that haven't come to terms with it now that are starting to understand that, oh no, you know what? He's actually going. I've said for a few weeks, I believe he's gone. This will not get resolved. And it's not anyone to blame either. I can't blame Mason and I can't blame Chelsea. They're both looking out for their own interests. So this goes to the point where some people are genuinely looking of two sides of the same coin. Some people are looking at this from the angle of, oh no, we can't let go of Mason Mount because he's proper Chelsea and he's a Cobham boy and we're not doing enough to keep him. And then there's other people that are going, oh, no, you know what? If we let go of Mason Mount, right? How can we let go of someone who is proper Chelsea and who is, who has come from Cobham, and you're going to let him go elsewhere and he's going to explode somewhere else when we can just keep him here? Like, the truth of the matter is this. Yeah, this is the truth. There's no one proper Chelsea or proper anything. Mason Mount. If I can back up a little bit more, I can't reach, but can you see this? What's here? What's in here? What's in here? That's a pocket. What do you put in a pocket? Your wallet, your coins, your money. That's what he's proper for. He's proper Mount. Mason Mount is proper Mount. He's proper Pocket. He's proper, how much have I got in here and how much am I getting? That's what he's proper about. And as soon as people realise that a lot quicker, the better, right? Because footballers nowadays can be as loyal as they can be, right? And they can look like they're loyal and they can look like they're fighting for their badge, but you put them into a corner and you get them to choose between their wages, their salaries, their contracts and the club, you best believe they're throwing the club under the bus. Not in a bad way. I'm not saying they're going to actively throw the club under the bus. I'm saying they're going to put themselves first before anything. It's their careers and their families and their futures that they're going to put before the club, because they know that even without them, the club goes on. The club goes on. You think Mason Mount's looking at this going, I can't believe how I'm being treated. I'm proper Chelsea. I'm going to go to Liverpool and I'm going to screw it on Chelsea because I'm proper Chelsea and they're screwing me over and they're not treating me right. You think he's thinking like that? No. He's thinking, look, I'm a spoke on the wheel. Right? Chelsea will continue with or without me. I'm going to look at my interests. I'm going to see where I'm going to be playing my football and what I'm going to be getting in my contract. If that's going to be at Liverpool, I will be playing at Liverpool. Simple. Chelsea will go on. He knows Chelsea will go on. But we're getting fans that are like, I can't believe this happening. It's a disaster. Like, no, it'll be fine. Right? Mason wants a certain contract, especially in terms of time, because he wants another big contract before 30. Now, if you have to analyze things really deeply, right, he didn't agree to an extension or a contract when Roman was there and it was offered to him because he wanted something bigger later. So he held on. If he had got that contract then, maybe he'd be negotiating something even bigger now. So that's something to look out for. Maybe that's where a mistake was made on Mason's part. But from Chelsea's point of view, Chelsea are looking at their own interests. You think they're going to put a player first because he's proper Chelsea? No, they're going to put the club first. Chelsea are looking at this going, look, we want to give you a large contract in terms of time. 180k, but we want to give it over to you in 7 years, 8-year deal. Yeah? And he's looking at that and going, nah. This is going to be over. I'm going to be above 30 years old at that point. I'm not going to get another big contract. I want another big contract. That's why I was looking at this going, this is not going to work. Chelsea will not compromise that, and Mason will not compromise that. Simple. It's a clash. It cannot work. You can't come to a compromise unless one has to fall for the other. This is why I've been saying I don't believe he's staying. He is gone. And now he's appointed this new agent and whatnot. It's basically the icing on the cake. He's gone. Mason is going. Simple. He's going. And we'll be fine. We'll be fine and he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He will get a top club. Right? But Chelsea will move on. Just like we've moved on before without other players. Much like I've given you the example of Eden Hazard. Chelsea will be fine. People are making it seem like Mason Mount, because he's got Player of the Year twice and because he led, goals and assists for two seasons in a row, that, oh my God, after one bad season, it's all come crashing down and it's not going to work, right? No, it will work. Trust me. And this is the point that I wanted to make. He's having a bad season this season, but it's not a coincidence. In my opinion, it's not a coincidence. We've upped a little bit of the quality in those positions around where Mason plays, and he's not getting into the team. We've got ourselves Enzo. We've got ourselves Felix. We've got ourselves some new lads that have come in and really shaken things up, and Mason's struggling to get in ahead of them. It's no surprise why I said that I wanted to see top quality brought in to see if Mace can keep up with those. Maybe on another day, in another season, maybe he can, but right now he's not, and this is showing me personally that I think we'll be fine without him. It'll be okay. I'm not saying that I'd want to get rid of him. I'd be happy if he stays. I'd be happy if he decides to sign. Not a problem, because I believe that he needs to be pushed even further, which is what's not happened. And why he did get Player of the Year in those 2 years is genuinely, I believe, because there is a part to play from his point of view. He done what he had to do, but there wasn't enough competition around him to really shine above him. Mason was the guy that was, I would say, showing what he can do in a pretty average team overall. And Thomas Tuchel done the work that he done in order for us to win the Champions League. But you got to be honest and say that squad was not immense, right? It really wasn't. But we done what we did. As soon as we do get some quality in and we're starting to show some additions that are coming into certain positions in the midfield, all of a sudden Mason's struggling. I don't see that as a coincidence. But as I've said, that's not to say he's a bad player. I just think that the circumstances right now, what he wants and what Chelsea want are so far apart, it just will not come to a compromise. So for me, he's going. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. So people calm down. Yeah, calm down, please. Please. Everyone that's going, it's going to be a disaster. What's the disaster? Define disaster for me. All right, Mason leaves. What's the disaster? people genuinely believe that we're going to be looking at Mason Mount at Liverpool, for example. He's going to get, I don't know, 20 goals and 20 assists or something insane. No, I genuinely don't think that's going to be the case. I genuinely don't think so. You're going to see the same output that he showed at Chelsea, I think. Nothing more, nothing less. If anything, I genuinely am starting to think Mason Mount has stagnated. He was getting better and better and better, and he hit a ceiling. He's hit a plateau. I think he's hit that plateau. I do not see Mason getting better than what he's showing now. I just don't. That's my own opinion, which is why I'm not panicking. I'm genuinely okay if he were to go. But I'm happy for him to stay, because if he does push himself, maybe we do get something that goes past that plateau, but there's nothing to indicate that right now, which is why I'm not worried. So let me know your thoughts down below with everything that I've discussed today. Antonio Conte and Mason Mount, much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new video. Have a good one, people. Hit a subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.